Yesterday, we filmed a tour of the Content Dojo, which is where we're at right now with Steph and Jay Rose of Phase 6. I found them about a year ago when I opened my app, Stretch Strong. If you guys haven't seen that account on Instagram, go check it out. Go check out the app. But I started looking around to see what else is in the space, and I found them. They're a top-notch resource for learning new moves and stuff. And yeah, follow along. All right, guys. First up on the list on my, I have like a list of things I want to, at least one of them is a knee slice.
Yes.
What is this movement?
So we're stepping out, driving the knee. And this shoulder is back and down, arm is straight, because a lot of the times people's arms will collapse and it will cause like the foundation to break and you won't be as stable. So it's like a little jump. And you don't have to jump, you can keep it, connected to the ground. But once you start moving a little faster, you'll naturally.
Oh, okay.
And this arm is going back in line with the shoulder, elbow back, like you're trying to elbow someone behind you.
That's one of the things I like about what you guys do in martial arts in general. My foundation in martial arts, Taekwondo. One of the best things that they taught me was every time you do something, everything else has to do something too.
Right.
Because when kids go down in the line, you got white belts, they're doing this.
Right.
You know, it's like, what is the other hand doing? You just got,
Right.
Everything
It has to have intention.
Yeah.
Whenever we do something, we're always engaging the upper body as well. So shoulders back and down, scaps engaged. And from here, we're going to step out slightly and then bring and slide the shin across the ground and let it pass and keep this one up. Yeah. So you try to keep your feet firmly connected to the ground.
So bring that back foot forward so you can plant on the floor.
Okay.
So rather than
okay.
Yeah. So
Flat foot?
Exactly.
Okay.
So let it drive towards you rather than out to the side. Yeah.
Okay. Forward. This.
And then from there you just transition over. So back to tabletop. And you try to keep in the same position, so you don't want to like shift around. Your knees are going to be quite close to your arms wherever they are. So you don't want like a bear crawl type position.
Okay.
It's going to be quite close together.
Oh, okay.
So slide through. Yeah.
I keep wanting to extend the leg for some reason.
And that's what I was mentioning. That this knee slash shin slice is actually a great transition into extending the leg out and then doing something like
What we'll be doing next.
yeah, like
the next step.
the lazy lizard type thing. Cool transitions.
Yeah.
So it's all like building blocks.
And you can play around with tempo as well. So like speeding up the transition and then slowing down the intentional knee at the end.
Sam, does this look like what it's supposed to look like?
You're getting there.
I'm getting there.
You know what's interesting is you do a lot of interesting things in the air, but this is the first time I've really seen you do a lot of groundwork.
Yeah, I want to get more into groundwork, but I've had such a big problem with my knees.
Right.
And I started last summer to work with this more soft acro, and my knees just weren't taking it. So, but my knees have been feeling better the last 2 months.
The great thing about all this stuff, there's no real right or wrong way to do something as long as you have like the movement mechanics down.
Yeah.
Because it's such a natural thing, you don't want to restrict yourself by going, oh, that is wrong.
Yeah.
You might naturally, especially when you start to get into animalistic movements, everyone's animalistic movement is going to look different because it's a natural form of movement. So as long as you have that understanding of what it should look like and placement of the body parts and things like that, then you can start to add in your own personality to it,
And you're breaking the sweat.
Yeah.
Most people think that body weight is like, not really much, but it's pretty
Especially
intense.
this stuff.
There we go. I think we're in sync.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Very well.
Yeah. I get to see how bad I look later when this video is edited.
No, you look great. You looked great.
All right. Actually, I think I might need a snack. Hold on a second.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Where did we go? This is like magic. By the way, this is Magic Spoon's new protein treats. Crunchy, chewy, and airy without the stickiness of a protein bar. Whoa. Wah! Ha! Magic Spoon is cereal reinvented. It is the high-protein, keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, wheat-free, naturally flavored, totally delicious, childlike cereal for grown-ups. It's also magic. And each serving of Magic Spoon cereal contains 13 to 14 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and 4 to 5 grams of net carbs. So you can feel good about fueling up. You can scan this code or use my code Juji with the link in the description below to save $5 off your Magic Spoon cereal today. And don't worry about needing teleportation because Magic Spoon is also available on Amazon or your nearest grocery store. And if you're not a fan of Magic Spoon, don't worry, Magic Spoon backs up their products with a 100% happiness guarantee online. So if you don't like it for any reason, you got the 100% happiness guarantee, which means they'll refund your money, no questions asked. So click the link in the description to go to magicspoon.com/Juji or use code Juji at checkout to save $5 off. I think it's time to get back to the dojo. How do I teleport? Maybe I gotta finish the bowl. We're gonna take the knee slice and progress it to a combo.
Yes. This time we're gonna fully extend the leg out in front.
Thank God. That's what my body wants to do naturally.
We're finally doing it. So we're gonna stay in contact with the ground. From here we're gonna bridge the hips, so we're pushing the hips up, and we're gonna, as we push up, we're gonna go onto the side of the foot here and twist the hips over, reaching the hand to the ground. So now we have 3 points of contact. I'm gonna swivel my hips. Now this is where people get confused. My front hand, which is my right hand, is gonna come back. This left foot is gonna step behind. And then I'm gonna lower.
You do like a lizard stretch?
Yeah, like a kind of.
Is it a lizard lunge?
This is literally called the lazy lizard.
The lazy lizard?
So from this low position, I'm gonna push myself back up. As I do that, I'm gonna go for another knee slice.
So you see the knee slice there, but then extending out.
There's the foot. Exhale. Always really important to sync the breath. And then in. And then you can play around.
Ryan, put that little thing on the screen that advertises pants because I sell sweatpants. They're very good. But yes, I actually just spilled some water in my pants off screen anyway.
The knee slice first. Yep.
Bridge the hips. Reach.
Kick off.
And push.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Remember, right hand comes back. Yes.
Yeah.
And stay on your toes on the back.
How about the front foot?
At the back foot.
I got flexibility here in spades. No problem. I can lick my foot if I want. Don't really want to. Okay, so I'm here now. To get back, I have to.
You have to tuck your toes to.
In order for the push up. To push it up.
Okay, tuck my toes. Like this.
Yeah.
Bring this foot back forward.
Again. Bridge the hips again. Nice. And take. So what happened there?
Okay, I lost the
Yeah,
transition.
the spin.
Got the first part. What do you think, Sam?
You're getting there.
Getting there? I mean, there's a lot of things to focus on. This isn't just like this. You know, it's like I'm having to think about hip bridging, balls of my feet, hand placement, and I like that because if your training doesn't have elements of like motor learning in it, you need to find something that you like that you can implement into your training. For a bodybuilder, powerlifter, mono athlete, static, stuck in your little, sarcophagus thing.
And it's peaceful. It's like a meditation. Is that like
Yeah.
learning this thing? It gives you time to just focus on movement, and that's it. You're not really distracted by it.
It's a practice mindset where it's just like I'm trying to learn this, and I'm not like, okay, how many reps and sets?
Right. We found with this type of stuff as well, if people like really drilled into, doing reps and sets, then set yourself some sets and reps to start with, but then slowly like just free flow, Yeah. If that's really how your mind's working at the time, like do 3 sets of 10 rotations or something like, or 10 transitions.
Yeah.
And then, once you get used to the movement and stronger, then, don't worry about that so much in the future.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
It's
But
really.
you can see as well, like you got a sweat on from it as well. Like people underestimate.
I'm wearing sweatpants.
Yeah, and you're wearing sweatpants, and you're wearing Texas, even in the winter.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other thing I like about it too, especially with the lizard push-up, is it's getting you used to pushing up in a different way. That's more natural, because if you do push-ups, it's typically just like that.
Yeah.
But when we fall over or hit the ground or anything like that, it's never in a nice
Yeah.
flat position.
Plank
where
position?
It's usually like your arm is, exactly, at a 45-degree angle. So building up that strength in those uncomfortable positions is really important, especially for longevity.
I'm good.
So we're going to get into a chain movement pattern. We went over the first step a little while ago, which is the inversion. So we're going to go into the shin box, go into an inversion here, come around, shin box switcheroo. We're going to bring the leg forward into a step through.
Yep.
We're going to bring it back into a fighter stance, back to step, mountain climber. And then we're just going to return and do it all again.
Don't bet on me for getting this right on the first try. But I like this because with the way I train flexibility, usually I just there's a lot of movements, I just kind of stack them, but not like this. These are literally like combos you gotta like practice and memorize. It's like a melody, you know?
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Inversion. Nice. Remember, keep contact with the ground. Now, you went the other way.
Oops.
All good though.
That was quick.
That was kind of cool. You kind of ended up facing the opposite direction.
Kind of cool I did it wrong so fast. All right, hold on a second. What am I doing?
What are you doing?
Okay.
All right, we'll sit to the side.
Yeah.
Lower yourself to the floor. Tuck that head in. Feet go around. Sorry.
So.
Nice. Remember to try to keep those toes in contact with the ground. But other than that,
Here.
yes.
What does this hand do?
So that one is protecting your face. Yeah. And then when it's in step through, it comes back like this, and it's nice and strong. Yeah.
Okay. I'm curious how you guys got into this style of training. Like, where did it go from whatever it was until it became what you guys do?
Right. I think it kind of, so it stemmed from kettlebells, and then we started to do flows with kettlebells, and then we got super into like mixed martial arts and the movements and drills from that, and then we started to pair up those movements. I think that, well, for me, anyway, that's what.
I mean, when I got introduced to kettlebells, we deep dove into like unconventional training.
Yeah.
And it was like the most fun we'd ever had training. So it was very much kettlebells at first. And yeah, then we discovered like movement chains and flows. And that led us down a different rabbit hole. And finding out about the martial arts drills, but they weren't necessarily using them in a way where it was focused more on strength and mobility and flexibility training. And also, they have great benefits, these drills, but they weren't being utilized in other sports or practices because they were so pigeonholed and being like, this is a martial arts drill. So what we wanted to try to adapt it and make it more accessible to every type of sports and practice and show the benefits of that.
Yeah.
But one of the main inspirations for like all the ground-based stuff was a guy named Shayne, and he's the founder of Budokan. He's one of the innovators of quadrupedal locomotion, ground-based movement, animalistic movement practices. Any animal movement is pretty much inspired by his system, and he calls it mixed movement arts.
Mixed movement arts, okay.
Yeah. So we learned this stuff from him directly, even the gorilla crawls and everything like that. So
we learned the separate movements, but then we put our own take on combining them and creating them into like a
But he was
chain
definitely the
line.
catalyst. He was the first person we saw doing this ground-based stuff.
Yeah.
And then it just evolved from there, and we started learning more and seeing how we can implement other things from our style into what we do.
I also took a lot of inspiration from Shayne Heins, he's an on-it educator. He was the one who did a lot of certifications in like durability and mobility. So that's where my inspiration came from. All the like deep sumo squats to knee drop shoots, all those kind of cool movements. I was just hooked on those. So then we started to put those together and kind of create something really fun. But he was one of my main inspirations.
He created the on-it education system. Well, he co-wrote like that whole entire system. He's also like a master with the steel club.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
steel club.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never done any. These are clubs.
Yes.
Not masons. I kept calling them masons. They're not. So these are really, really good for the wrist.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steph, for warming up my wrist for this.
Also really good. Also really good training for videographers with all the gimbal work. I try to get all of our videographers on steel
Boot
clubs.
camp for them. It's like, is that like a litmus test? If they can't film this stuff, it's
they,
like you're out.
Yeah, if they can't hold a 10-pound steel club for exactly 10 minutes straight.
I'm gonna pass that test
training.
in spades.
I'm looking at Sam right now.
So the great thing about this is we can add in upper body and lower body at the same time. So what we're going to do is cast off, go round 360. That's going to be the first part. Okay, so we'll just get used to that first. So when it comes round, I want to stop it here, and it goes past my face, but then down my back and over.
It's kind of like a halo.
Yeah, almost, but not a full halo. So it'll come round, stop there, and then I'm casting it off already. Yeah, I guess like a halo.
Like that?
And then cast it off that way. Yeah.
I think I'm going in the wrong direction.
Round, and stop there. Now go down the back, cast off that way.
So,
Round.
I feel like I'm doing it backwards.
So it's only because if you watch here, it'll come around my back, and then my right elbow throws it out over me, rather than the backhand. So also, if I'm going over my left shoulder like this, around the back, then my right hand is over my left hand.
Okay.
So if I'm going that way, right hand is over, and then casting off. Yeah, that's good. Now round, and the back cast off. Yeah, that's good. Now what we'll do is we'll add in like a squat, but it'll be kind of off. It won't be like a squat straight down. It'll be kind of off to center. So as we come round, catch it on the shoulder and down, and then we go the opposite direction.
Okay.
So swing round, catch it on the
I'm gonna have to
shoulder.
do it behind you, I think.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm learning things, guys, as a tip, I do get some rope flow lessons online. And oftentimes I'll have the guy, it's on Zoom, the guys in Sweden I learned from. I'll often tell him to face away from me, so I'm looking at his back. and then behind them. So it's just a little trick sometimes if you're trying to learn things by watching people online.
And cast off, round, catch it on the side. Then the other direction.
Do you switch grips in it?
Not really. You can if you want to, but you don't necessarily have to. You can do it. You can switch grips on like the next set. You know. You get great benefits from a 10-pound steel club. Like,
Yeah.
if you've never used them before, you stick between 5 and 10 pounds for a long time.
Yeah.
It's only like recently I like got up to like the 35 consistently. You know.
You find these in the weirdest places too. Like even Dave Tate at Elite FTS was having me do a lot of tricep stuff with this to warm up for bench press.
Yeah, we're doing exactly the same movement, but then
Ooh.
it's double. So it's exactly the same thing, it's just you're timing it at the same time, you know?
Okay, yeah.
So where is, yeah, and then you time, so before you throw that out, so see how you cast that off there?
Yeah.
When you have two, say I'm casting off. As I'm casting off, let me. So. One's already coming round. Yeah, that's it. That was perfect. And then you're already casting off. That's it. Down and then throw it out. So now they're catching up to each other.
Okay, hold on a second. My wrists are tired.
So let's get the flag.
Hold on a second, my wrists are tired. Well, that's the thing about learning skills. A lot of times, like, because you're just trying over and over again because you just want to get it.
Yeah.
Like you're getting a great workout because normally people who are just counting things and they just stop when they're done, it's like, you just keep trying.
Right.
It's like, I'm so close.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so close. And you're like, just absolutely like getting the response you want physiologically.
And
It's
Yeah.
meant to be like a mid grip. So otherwise you get super fatigued really quick and then you just kind of like lose form completely.
Yeah.
So it's like finding that balance.
with these unconventional tools as well, there's no ego involved. Like, if you have to drop down into the 5 pounds, then you drop to the 5 pounds. You know?
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to have serious problems. So try these just to give you a rest, but then
Yeah.
but also to get like the movement down. And I'll just get the 5s. That's it. Oh, he's got it down with the 5s.
I feel like the 5s are so light though that I'm disrespecting what would happen when I'm using actual weight.
But all you know is that you've got the movement pattern down, so now you can translate that over to the heavier weight.
Let me, one thing that pops in my mind when I'm like exploring this type of stuff, guys, is it seems like everyone is really locked into this, like, I train for an hour and a half a day mindset type thing, or I train 4 times a week with this body part split. And it's like, they don't fit things like this in their routine because it's just like, no, that's not my training. I have to train.
Right.
It's like, this does not take away from those training resources. Like, this is just another way of like gamifying physical exertion, because this is just like, I'm just having fun right now playing around with this.
It doesn't affect training because it'll actually greatly increase your training because it will build stronger shoulders, it'll give you more mobility.
Oh yeah.
They're literally strength and mobility tools.
Oh, 1000% agree.
All your lifts will increase. If you look at the history of where these tools come from, because they're not brand new, like these are ancient tools that undefeated wrestlers in India used to use and things like that. Like these are tried and true. Just because you haven't heard of them doesn't mean they haven't, worked for other people.
Right, yeah.
It's just they got lost along the way, or they weren't, part of our culture or stuff like that. So should be implementing all different types of training philosophies and styles. Even with the mace, there was a guy, an undefeated wrestler who used the mace regularly in his training. And he contributed that to his mace training, or Gada training, not a steel mace.
No, yeah, Gada.
And so Bruce Lee
The Indian wrestler that did all the squats,
Yeah.
the bodyweight squats. and
Exactly.
stuff per day.
And Bruce Lee heard this undefeated wrestler, implemented the Gada. So then, of course, Bruce Lee started implementing that type of training too. So it's not specific to one sport or practice. It
Yeah.
should be just like implementing everything.
I love Bruce Lee. I think people have forgotten. I think
Bruce
he's simultaneously a little overrated, but completely underrated in a lot of aspects. Like
Right.
his whole mindset of Jeet Kune Do, like take what's useful for you and discard the useless. I just don't see people doing that with their training these days.
Right.
They're just so locked into arguing about what training method is best that it's like, I don't know, just do all of them.
Right.
And then just keep the ones that work, and then you're going to end up keeping more than you thought. Well, thank you so much for
Of course,
the
brother.
workout.
Yeah.
Steph's over there hanging out. We're going to do some more stuff
Nice.
off camera. But yeah, I just love this stuff, guys. And I'll be doing a workshop here for flexibility later this year.
Yes.
Look at this space. It's amazing. You want to come and learn in this stuff and unlock it finally so you can use it for the rest of your life. Permanent gains.